Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be providing a long-term market update for EGLD. We're going to talk about some bullish and positive signs, most notably with the reclaim of the lows from back here in June, right around $38, making this look like one big deviation. We'll talk about some resistance levels on the weekly chart with these two moving averages, as well as EGLD on the Bitcoin ratio, and talk about its performance against Bitcoin and what this chart has in store for us into the next few months. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, by the way, I will leave a link to my Twitter page in the description below. Feel free to go ahead and check that out as well. I'm fairly active over there with crypto content. So I do want to start off here out on the daily chart because it gives us a very clear and clean look at this longer term range that we have, with the support and the range lows right around $37, $38, and then the resistance at the range highs right around $67, $68. And we've basically just seen a big fluctuation of price between the lows and the highs, with this most recent fake out below the range from back in the December, early January timeframe. So now that EGLD has reclaimed the range and flipped this back into support, that represents a pretty bullish sign because it shows us that the price was unable to accept below the range. Bears were unable to flip this into resistance. And in general, when you have such a long range, any sort of breakout really needs to have a lot of follow through. Otherwise, reclaiming it is just a powerful signal in the other direction. So now that we've seen that pretty big fake out, EGLD has come up off the lows by about 35%, which is pretty similar and average performance with the rest of the altcoin market. We're just seeing a lot of that strength really flow in from Bitcoin reclaiming the 22K level. So ultimately, the altcoins are getting a little bit of relief here, and naturally EGLD is just following the rest of the market. Now we're coming up into a pretty key level of resistance here, which is going to be this level right around $45, and I'm going to mark that out on the chart right here just so you can see the clear level of support and resistance. We had this act as support back here in September on this big pivot point where we came back up to the range highs. And then when eventually EGLD broke down below it, it flipped it right here into resistance. So that's basically the next level that we can look to. And this is going to be a pretty strong level of resistance given that we've seen the rejection off this level from back here in December. And any reclaim coming back above this, such as I have drawn here, would be a very bullish sign to where I would look to the range highs all the way up at $67, $68 as our next major zone of resistance. So it's really going to depend how we interact off this zone and what price does in relation to this level of support and resistance. If we were to say have some sort of rejection, then I would watch to see if we can reclaim and hold support off the range lows, again around $38, and then from there see if we can print some sort of higher low. So I also do want to talk about the weekly chart for EGLD and specifically talk about the 20-week simple moving average and the 21-week exponential moving average. So that'll be these two lines here on the chart. I have them as a band of resistance, which as you can see has been very strong of a resistance level throughout this entire bear market. EGLD lost this level from back here in December of 2021, flipped it into resistance here in February, and then proceeded to reject in March, as well as right here in November. So pretty strong and a very long time spent below the moving averages, and we're coming up back to that level where they are ranging from $45 to $48. So this is going to mark a pretty key retest, and ultimately if the weekly chart can come back above this level and then reclaim that as support, that's going to be a huge sign that we're going to start to reverse this bear market trend, reverse that momentum to the downside, and give bulls a real starting point for a thesis where we might start to have a longer term low in place. Now, if we don't have that reclaim and we were to say reject similar to the last three previous attempts, then I would watch out to the lows from back here in the summer months, right around $37, $38 as our support. So look out to that level if we do see some sort of rejection off the moving averages, and then hopefully we can hold support off that. If not, then I would look out to the lows from back here in December around $32 and just play it level by level. So lastly, I do want to talk about the EGLD Bitcoin ratio. And with this, we're coming back down over the last few weeks. It's very similar to a lot of other altcoin charts on their Bitcoin ratio, where we're seeing the Bitcoin dominance really surge up here on the most recent move to that $23,000 level. It's really not something out of the ordinary because we know that when Bitcoin has those very aggressive and volatile moves, either to the upside or to the downside, the altcoins are typically going to see that underperformance against Bitcoin. It's not something specific to EGLD, it's just how the market goes with the altcoins. And again, we are seeing that underperformance over the last few weeks, But the good thing is that the underperformance has mainly just been EGLD moving up just at a slower rate than Bitcoin. So now that we're coming back down, really look to see if we can have some sort of higher low on this weekly chart. If EGLD can pivot from here and start to reverse, that would give us a longer term structure of a higher low, and then potentially we could look for some higher highs to give us a new uptrend as opposed to this bear market decline since November of 2021. If we're unable to print a higher low, look out to this level right around 15,000 Satoshis as our support. That was the low from back here in June. And if we can hold that, then we could set up the potential for a double bottom. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. By the way, make sure to check out my Twitter page. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.